Okay, okay. Recording you can start after Mohan sir come. Okay.
Hello. Good evening.
Very good evening, sir.
The background is a real one or image? Image. Background.
No, I have it's an image.
Real one, right?
No,
Ah.
it's a Google background image.
Oh, okay. Because it's looking very nice,
That is virtual reality.
That's right. It's looking like a real bookshelf, and then very nice one. So we'll wait for a few minutes and then we can start.
Yes.
Shall we start?
Okay, sir, we'll start.
Good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of CSI Chennai chapter, IEEE CS Madras section, and ACM Chennai, I would like to welcome you all for the webinar on upskilling and cross-skilling, the game changer to succeed in the disruptive era. Now I would like to invite Mr. HRM sir to deliver the welcome address and introduce the chief guest.
Greetings and good evening to one and all. Once again, on behalf of the organizing units, Computer Society of India, IEEE Computer Society, and ACM, I have great pleasure in welcoming today's eminent speaker, Dr. Usha, Narasimhan, members and my colleagues from the organizing units, participants who have joined the Google Meet meeting, and those watching the session through YouTube streaming. Today's presentation on upskilling and cross-skilling, the game changer to succeed in the disruptive era, is highly contextual. With fluctuating job market and the influence of tech advances in AI, robotics, automation, flexible manufacturing, etc. Actually, pandemic 2020 had accelerated the adoption of digital technologies that has been the back burner for many enterprises, resulting in more automation, improved data-driven decisions, enhanced quality, increased productivity, and better customer experience. With the tectonic shift in technology front triggered by AI, it is pertinent for every business to make skilling a strategic priority. World Economic Forum on Future of Work states that about 50% of the skills prevalent today will cease to exist in 5 years, and workforce need to be reskilled in emerging roles pertaining to the artificial intelligence, blockchain, data analysis, security, etc. It also revealed that 54% of India's workforce lacks the necessary skill for the current roles, and 65% lacks the skills for future jobs. With its abundant young talent pool, India has become the preferred IT destination. Hence, it is crucial for the country India as such and the IT service providers operating from India to strategize the skilling initiatives to retain the India advantage. They are required to navigate through challenges such as emerging workforce trends, competition from other industries for the same talent base, mushrooming startups, global capability centers by global enterprises, multi-generation workforce, diverse skilling needs, and lack of project-ready skilled workforce on latest technologies. India's outlook of reaching 7 trillion by the year 2030 and 35 trillion by 2047 can be realized only through talent transformation. To realize this ambitious growth, various skilling programs are being executed by both central and state governments in collaboration with the industry and academia and through education policy reforms. The enterprises are adopting innovative practices and programs to upskill and cross-skill their employees in tune with the emerging career roles and business landscape. To succeed in this skilling mission, the speaker strongly believes a learner-centric approach aligned with the business is the only way forward. It is a responsibility of the members in this ecosystem that is inclusive of the government, industry bodies, corporates, academia, and policy makers and other contributing entities to devise a holistic approach that can keep pace with the emerging trends. Actually, this webinar will be dealing with all these points in detail by the seasoned speaker. Now, let me formally introduce the speaker. Today's speaker, Dr. Usha, is a PhD in physics from IIT Madras. She has been with TCS for 27 years. She currently heads the talent development function of the Enterprise Solutions Unit of TCS. She started her career in TCS as a team member in Y2K project and subsequently moved on to become a core member of the business excellence team. She has played a pivotal role in TCS winning the coveted JRDQB award within the Tata Group for demonstrating the excellence in business processes. As a trained senior assessor for Tata Business Excellence Model, she has conducted business excellence assessments across Tata Group companies. Dr. Usha leveraged her process expertise and designed, digitized, and deployed TCS-wide project-level customer satisfaction survey in 2009, which is recognized as a key contribution even today. She led the knowledge management for multi-billion dollar infrastructure service unit of TCS during 2011 and 17 and launched several key initiatives focusing on customer value delivery. The framework practices and the assets created by her are highly appreciated and being adopted by several units of TCS across the country and worldwide. Dr. Usha took on the role of talent development head of Google Business Unit in January 2021. She established the G School, a learning academy leveraging the TCS Google partnership, resulting in TCS moving from 7th rank among the Google GSA partner to first within 2 years. Her learner-centric approaches resulted in G School becoming the popular learning academy within TCS. G School contributed significantly in TCS winning the Breakthrough Partner of the Year award, Partner Skills Summer Challenge award, and finally culminating in TCS winning the Global Talent Development Partner of the Year award from Google in August 2023. Also, her contribution in creating a learning movement in TCS is recognized by Google and awarded her 2022 Partner All-Star Award. She is recognized as a contextual master in talent management and development within TCS. Dr. Usha is an active LinkedIn community member and is recognized as a top voice in program management, change management, and training and development, particularly in HR-related areas. So she is a very experienced and seasoned person in the area of talent development, and definitely what she is going to say is going to really make matter very vital. And I request her to enlighten our members on upskilling and cross-skilling, the need for it and the way forward, and best practices across the industry, and in particular the TCS largest employer of IT personnel in India. I think they are competing almost in a global level, also becoming the largest employer in terms of manpower, and retaining such a large pool of manpower and keeping them always ready for the various assignments is a very difficult task, and they have been managing excellent. And today she is going to share her experience in how she has been managing it. So with this brief introduction, I request her to take over. Over to Dr. Usha.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for this opportunity. And good evening and welcome all who have joined this session through Google Meet and through YouTube streaming. Just give me a second. I'm sharing my presentation. So please let me know if you are able to see my...
No, not yet, madam. We'll go ahead then.
Is it on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Just to give a brief context for the session, if you are wanting to listen to somebody who is a master or who have mastered talent development, probably as Mohan sir mentioned, I took over this talent development responsibility only in 2021. It's hardly 3 years, or close to 3.5 years. And no, if you are wanting to listen to somebody who is a psychologist and who will be able to decipher the mental model of learning, probably no, I'm not the person. If you are wanting to listen to an academician who knows how to handle learners or the students, then probably I'm not the person. But if you are looking for a technology expert who can predict the future and give the right set of direction inputs, probably I'm not the person. But I'm here because of the sheer understanding of the learners and my interest to at least understand how to set up a learning ecosystem and drive it passionately within the organization. So only because of that, I'm here to share my experience of being part of the TCS Talent Development Fraternity and trying to share my experience and understanding of the entire learning ecosystem. So looking at this particular set of audience, I thought it will be good that I can have a set of personas and each one having a specific expectation from this session. Like Sarah, a college student, is looking at, will I get a job or should I do something beyond my academic or a college curriculum? And a fresher who has joined a corporate or an enterprise recently is looking at, with so many changes happening in the technology, how do I get how can I become a broad-based professional? And what will be the career path for me? Then somebody, Nilesh, a mid-level who has spent about 10 years in an organization, is keen to know, he has been in certain technology, working on it for more than 5 years. Now he is looking at what are the on-demand skills, what are the technology evolutions, emerging trends, and which career path should I choose? Should I become a technology expert, or should I become a techno-functional expert, or should I become a delivery head or a functional head? So he is at the crossroads of designing the career path. And all of them are aware that technology is changing. And now coming to the College of Engineering. So they are very keen to have 100% of their students placed. And then they also, based on the feedback from the various forums, they also wanted to have career-ready graduates produced. And then I'm looking at Mannar and Mannar company, where they are looking at, I want to have day zero deployment. Like whenever a person joins my organization, I want to be productive from day one. And they are looking at, the corporate understands that engaging an employee is very critical and retaining them is important rather than hiring new. So they would want to have employees glued with them and engage with them till their retirement. So that these are the different personas which I could think of, and I've tried to address some of the points during the course of the session. I think you will be able to elicit them. Now coming to this specific agenda. So what I have done is I've tried to give a big picture view and what is happening in the globe, at the global economy and the global market and global picture. And what are the key facts? Because a lot of inputs are there from various forums that is going to reshape the future or pivot the future. And then the emerging workforce trends. And followed by what are the challenges that these organizations or the various entities in the ecosystems are going through. And then subsequently, we'll dive a bit deep into the promising practices that we are observing in the learning, in the education dimension. And subsequently, present a few success stories from the TCS talent development stable. And last but not the least, would want to share with you the skill development initiatives that are currently underway and in the big way within India. And finally, leave some thoughts for you to ponder and move forward. So now looking at the global macro dynamics. See, we all know that there is a uncertainty. We are living in a VUCA world where it is highly volatile. Everything is uncertain. Nobody knows how the economy is going to be. People say that it is under recession or it is reviving. So the 2024 will be fantastic. It will be the start of growth. So there are so many messages which we keep hearing. So we are it's an uncertain world which we all understand, and the inflation cost is rising heavily, and then every countries are changing their policies, and with this there are geopolitical tensions as well, where there are disruptive wars which has changed the way the supply chain expectations are, and then there are resources are scarce at times in different parts of the globe. So then on top of this, now we are into the technology revolution. See, what used to change once a decade? Let us take from 1970. 1970 is where India started off with the mainframe or the IT sector as such, where TCS laid the cornerstone for it. And where we had mainframe and the microprocessor oriented services from India. And then in 1980s, it went on to ERP and supply chain management and other implementations, which are mostly efficiency and productivity oriented. Then subsequently in 1990s, the entire services moved towards the opening up of internet and e-commerce platforms. Then in 2000, communication, it completely revolutionized, where we had more of mobiles and mobile-based services, mobile apps, all that getting launched. And then we heard the term SMAC, social, mobile, automation, and computing, cloud. So these are then at that time we started realizing the change in the technology pace. So what used to happen once in 10 or 10 years or 15 years is not happening very fast. So now if you look at, and particularly after a pandemic, most of the enterprises which had put on their digital strategy in the back burner are forced to, are required to get their operations, get their digital strategy in place. So now in last year, when we in 2022, we got to know the term chat GPT. At least by and large, we got the whole world started heard the term chat GPT, and now everybody is a user of it. And so with this, the technology, what used to change once in 10 years is not changing so fast. And particularly if you look into the news feeds, every hour you can see something on AI, which is getting pumped. So the change is so fast. And other dynamics which is defining the industries is the industry convergence. Like previously everything used to be siloed. If it's a banking, it's a banking domain in itself. If it's a retail, it is a retail domain itself. There is no interlinkage. But no, that is not the case. No, there are apps, or the banks also deliver fintech services, and retail and pharmacy are going together. So there are multiple the business industries are converging. For example, be it your Amazon or Netflix, there is convergence of communication, media, and entertainment. So the boundaries between different domains are blurring. So it is all more or less porous and probably one under a single roof. That is what we can see. So, but all these enterprises are embracing digital. So we see any business process through the digital conversation or an application. So the next comes are radical business models. So what used to be a very simple buyer-seller model is now changed completely. Now we have retail stores which are both bricks and clicks, where you buy on-prem as well as online, and then retail. In a retail shop you have a pharmacy as well as services, healthcare services all delivered. So there is radical change in the business models that are emerging. And as I mentioned, Netflix, which was a DVD rental service player, they are now an OTT and they are a content creator. So it's all completely different from what they initially started to what they are now. And there is another model which is freemium, where like ChatGPT, if you take for example, while all of us can use a ChatGPT or Perplexity or any of these tools, but these are all base models which are available free. But for any upgrades, you have to get into a payment mode. So the upgrades are not free. So this is a different business model that that is evolving or that is prevalent now. And next comes the climate change. All of us are aware of it, and we are facing the heat and brunt of it at this point in time, be it in India or wherever it is. And then with the pandemic, the supply chain was completely disrupted. So many of the global economy countries are looking at how do I have a resilient supply chain. So how can I localize and to become self-reliant? So that is also one of the things which is happening in all the industries. And then regulatory requirements. So where data privacy was the talk of the globe, and now we are looking at sustainability related goals, and then talking of ethical AI, cyber security issues, concerns. So there are policies which are being defined or across the globe. So with this, I just wanted to move on to, so this gives the context for the whole, how the world is operating or is at this point in time. And so these are all unpredictable changes which are non-linear and disruptive too. So this is the canvas on which we have to paint our life. And now looking at the key facts that are reshaping the future. As given in the abstract, so many jobs. World Economic Forum has published reports, Future of the Jobs report, where so many million jobs are going to be eliminated, so many million new jobs are going to be created, and whatever skill set that we are having now, many of them are going to vanish or extinguish and or become extinct, and new jobs, job profiles are going to emanate. So, and there are many jobs which are considered as globally digital jobs. So, out of 5,000 plus jobs, 200 and odd jobs are defined as global digital jobs, and 73 million workers across the globe are into it, and it is expected to move to 92 million in the next 5-6 years. And other important aspect is, do we have adequate skills for today's delivery? May not be today's requirement. So the report says that 87% of the organizations today face a talent crunch, skill shortage, and for not tomorrow's skill set, for today's skill set. And many of the countries, if you look at, they are opening up their doors for a global talent. And India has the best advantage to become the global powerhouse for the talent supply. And that's what NASSCOM has set an audacious, India as a country has set an audacious target of 7 trillion by 2030 and about 35 trillion by 2047. So these can be met by sheer skilling of people, setting up the right ecosystem, and you and me are partners to it, are party to it. So currently our tech sector is about $250+ billion, and it is not just the revenues from non-India customers. So we have about 50 billion domestic market at this point in time. And our sector employs about 54 lakhs or 5.4 million workforce. And today, as we speak, 1,500 plus global capability centers are established. And that means, see, India used to be a low cost country where the labor arbitrage was our prime USP last few years ago. But now MNCs are setting up their R&D centers within India. That means India is moving into an innovation partner for the globe, for the MNCs. And that means it is the kind of talent pool that is available in the country. And these 1,500 GCCs are expected to provide employment opportunity to 5 lakh Indian youths. And as we speak, India has been in the forefront of many skilling initiatives. I am in TCS from 1997, and Y2K was a boom. And and there were many messages in the industry that TCS will shut down its operations post Y2K, because that was the core services that we were delivering till 2000. But that is not the case. It is a success story. So TCS was able to successfully transition its people from a Y2K COBOL based to .NET, Java, Python, and now microservices, and now cloud and AI. So it's a story. It's not a story. It is a reality. So India is at the forefront of any learning, skilling initiative. And continuing the same thing, India is right now the number one in AI skill. But is it all experts? May not be. But the basis being laid on which the subsequent competencies and proficiencies has to be built. And while all this is a fact, our average unemployment is about 15%, and we have about 40% of young graduates who are still unemployed. So this is a huge base where there's a potential to upskill them or probably reskill them to get onto to make them more employable. And the best and the golden beauty of India advantage is we have about 60% of eligible workforce less than 30 years of age. I will tell you why it is an advantage for us in the subsequent slide. So looking at the emerging workforce trends. So this is important, setting the context of why India advantage. Now looking at how is the workforce trends emanating or changing. So if you look at hiring as such used to be based on the degree or the qualification that one have. But now companies are adopting into skill-based hiring. That means many of the MNCs like Google or IBM or Walmart and other companies are looking at for specific jobs. They have removed the prerequisites of a formal education or a degree certificate. So education is getting into at least skill-based hiring is gaining prominence. And in the hiring also, they look at the user-generated content. Like for example, they see people who are able to bring in original thought process and ideas in various public social media like LinkedIn or Twitter or X or whatever the various platforms. So they continuously scan for suitable profiles with which meets their job requirements, and then they are able to offer job to them. So hiring, it's not the vanilla process any longer. So that is where we need to be aware of it. So as students, we have to make sure that we have a right profile and right attitude and make it available at the right forums. And then career as such, as we know that career, as we have been seeing and hearing from various forums that generative AI is going to cannibalize and jobs are going to move or get automated. But now, if you look at even in generative AI, while it is in green shoots or in the early stages now, there are a lot of roles which are emanating even in AI. So like AI prompt engineer, like TCS CTO in one of the interviews or forum has told, the best programming language going forward in the future is English. So that's where prompt engineering is picking up a lot, and people who are able to design better algos, better prompts to connect with the AI bots and the AI missions. So that is what that is gaining. It's a new role which is emanating. And then interface and interaction designer, like these AI models are to work with people, and people have to work with them. It's a human in the loop or mission in the loop, whatever we would want to call. So those interface designers, that is becoming a critical role. And that is where people will be able to converse with the LLMs. And then there are something called as AI content creators, like people who can curate the content, or it is like which helps the AI models to create books or movies even as such. And then there are data curators and trainers, like particularly people who are trained, who are skilled to look at the data quality and look at the correctness of the data, integrity of it, and whatever comes from the LLMs. So then there's another role, interesting role, which is ethics and governance specialist. That means AI, there is it's a role which is emerging where it looks for people who are skilled to look at the ethical view of AI, and then how does it create a harmful outcome? Is it biased? So there are a lot of research and skill which is required for it. Then another interesting area of emerging skills career is on the green technology. Like if you look at renewable energy engineers and technicians, then there are on the green building architects. So we know only build a construction designer or so, but now it is green green building architects, and then there are environmental consultants. So there are many roles which are emerging for the green technology and from an environment aspect. And then even in healthcare, if you look at life science and healthcare, like there are informatics related roles which are coming up, and these are not vanilla healthcare. It is it involves it's an interdisciplinary with the data mindset with the contextual knowledge in healthcare. So like that, there are multiple roles, jobs emanating from across the industry segments. So even in manufacturing, there are roles for who is a specialist for the carbon footprint. So like this, even if you take the legal department as such, legal is heavily using AI. It's even using AI to look at designing coming up with the case history or developing the case, and then there is a knowledge management even in legal. So there are new roles, not only conventional IT. So IT is just a horizontal, it's a cross-cutting one, it is an enabler, but ultimately it serves a domain or a business or a vertical. So a lot of new roles are created, and it is a responsibility of the ecosystem to make sure that people who are currently possessing a particular skill set are able to migrate or transition to a new skill set which is required. And it is not new, it is not new to the human society or the race. We have successfully transformed ourselves from the industry 1.0, where it was heavily manual, labor-based, because it thrived on the labor force, availability of excessive manual labor, to industry 2.0, where it moved on to factory and assembly line concepts with power being the pivotal thing there. And then it moved on to the industry 3.0, which is an information era. And then now we are in the information 4.0, which is getting into maybe in industry 5.0 with artificial intelligence, rewiring it completely. But we have not just survived, but the human race has thrived. It is becoming more from the physical manual strength to now an intellectual knowledge power. So it is not new. So there are we are in the center, thick and thin skin of it, and we will be able to come up successfully. And the other emerging workforce trend is employee engagement. The corporates they realize that it's always better to retain an employee than looking at hiring for any open positions. So there are the Gallup report states that the level of employee engagement determines the retention, and there are quite quitting 59%. That's a report which states, and there are low quitting as well. So the onus is on the enterprises to make sure that they come up with suitable initiatives and programs to engage their employees. And then the other important parameter to look at, which is an India advantage, is redefining retirement. Many of the countries, let us take Japan, they may have about more than 40% of their workforce beyond above 60 years by 2031 or so. And many of the European countries are also now getting into aged workforce. In America, at least more than 30-40% are going to be in that 65 plus years age bracket by 2030. But India is right now having only 1 to 2% in the 50 plus years in the workforce. And we have more than 60% in the less than 30 years workforce range. So it's an advantage. So this is something which we need to keep in mind and leverage. And then if you look at the other trend is, we are now having boomers people in the 1960s or whatever it is, and then we have Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, all of them working together in the same roof. That means at the same point in time. And each one brings in their unique capabilities, USPs, and each one will have their unique needs and unique set of challenges. So an organization is now required to balance this factor of a multi-generation workforce working at the same time. And then the contingent workforce. This is something which is an interesting factor coming in a big way, where post-pandemic, people have redefined their purpose for life. And now they are redefining the priorities, and they would want to be in a position to decide which job will I take, how long can I work, and what are my will I have a flexible time option, and for whom should I work? So they don't want to get into a permanent commitment. Probably they would want to have the flexible work options. So that is a contractor or gig workers. That is an emerging trend. At least it's coming up in a big way across countries. So what does it say? Human capital in the driver's seat and skilling engine as a competitive advantage for the individual as well as the corporates and the countries to succeed. And now coming to what are the major challenges that we are facing in skilling? Like why it's a normal thing, right? We start from the school, we complete our primary education, secondary education, we get into a college. Then why is there a problem in skilling? But the problem is once somebody becomes a graduate, they think that learning is done. I'm getting into a job. But that's no longer the case, which you will realize. So the first thing is rate of technology change. That's so fast. It's faster. It's like blink of the eye. No technology changes. So if the technology is changing so fast, the human brain, the cognitive abilities, it's not able to change so fast to understand, to read, comprehend, and then assimilate, and then reproduce. So there is a cycle time in this. So that is where there is a challenge in skilling. And the next one is building for an enterprise. So the technology does every corporate or the individual or the academics is able to invest in the proper environments to skill their associates or employees or the students. So there is an investment required. So accessibility to role aligned skilling is a problem. And for example, for many of the technology tools like SAP or RPA like Pega, or as an example. So do we have the real environment to play around with the use cases, even for the AI, generative AI? Do any of the organization or the across the globe, do we have the right environment to play around, learn, and then deliver? Otherwise, we are all YouTube cook. So that's the state where we are in. And as a working professional, there is always pressure for time, or we have to compete for time. Work takes priority. So because we have that as a day job, so we'll have to learn and upskill ourselves with that constraint. The other challenge in skilling is one size fits all approach. So many of these learning programs are designed in such a way that it is stereotyped with either an instructor-led or a self-paced online course, but it doesn't know it's a time bound, and it doesn't cater to the different learning needs of the individuals. Like somebody can be a slow learner, somebody can be in the comfort zone, and they may not be that interested to learn. Somebody can be will be in the learning zone, and they'll be able to fast track and complete fast. So they may want to skip some of the basic things, and they would want to move on to the advanced growth and growth learners. So for the different types of learners, we should be able to have learning programs and interventions designed accordingly. The learning pedagogy should be aligned accordingly. And then integrated approach for skilling by the stakeholders in the ecosystem. Here I meant the stakeholders like No, we have the academia, we have the corporates, we have the industry bodies, and then we have the governments, be it the central government or the state government. All of them, each one have their own set of programs, because everybody wanted to do their best for skilling the young talent. But it has to be an integrated and aligned approach. So there is probably an opportunity for improvement. Then but not the least, the motivation and the mindset. All these initiatives and the challenges are oriented towards the individual. Like, am I, as an individual student or a working professional, am I motivated? Do I have the mindset to learn and equip myself and stay relevant? Do I invest in the right time, in the right right set of career related trainings? So that is something which is a challenge, because we get distracted with too many things, and priorities keep changing at different points in time. So the business aligned and an integrated skilling strategy is extremely critical for the individual, for the academia, for the corporate, and for the country, and for the humanity to succeed. Now, coming to what are while we have discussed the challenges, but definitely there is light at the end of the tunnel. So over the period, the learning methodology itself has changed. So what used to be just a rote-based, memory-based is now changed. So it's changing. And by and large, many of the organizations have adopted to this. The first one I would want to highlight is the learning in the flow of work. So it is a concept where you need not I just attend a training program for 3 days, 1 week, and then I have to have the entire brain dump away on my brain, and I will have to come and implement. That's going to be tedious. It's going to be a cognitive overload. But the learning in the flow of work, it provides an opportunity where at the flow of my work, whatever I am doing at that point in time, if I'm looking for a help, the right set of enabler will be positioned to me. So it is a just in time at the right level, not the overdose. So whatever is required for me to complete a particular task is provided to me as a help or as a guidance, and I will be able to complete and move on to the next. So that is the learning in the flow. So it actually helps improve the productivity, but there are certain practices which has to be followed to make sure that it is successful. And then the next one is a micro learning and the micro credentials. See, micro learning is where it's a short course which is available. It's a short module oriented towards specific information or a skill. It is in an easily digestible form, or where it is like a quiz, or it could be in infographics, or even like Udemy or other where they give a nugget or a bite-sized learning modules. So that is something which is which is gaining prominence now. Micro credentials. This is another one which I think many technology partners have come up with this. Like, for example, Google, they have their skill badges. Even for AI, they have a skill badge. And for many of their other certification programs, they issue a skill badge. Udemy also, Udemy and other Udacity and other learning platform providers, they they provide these micro credentials. It is something where they give you they help you understand the concepts and pick up XP and new skills, and it is very focused and to the point. And that is it is like it's also they provide you a skill badge or a certification which will which is a testament for your understanding. And then next comes immersive learning, where you can see that user generated content is something which is which we are all familiar with, like in LinkedIn, where there is a blog post, and even I'm a heavy user of LinkedIn, where I read many blogs and I pick up knowledge. I improve myself with those user generated content. And then internship is also something where many of the corporates are providing. Even governments are providing through your future skills program and programs like Nan Mudalvan, or even in Kerala knowledge economy mission. So all those they provide internships for people, for students who would want to, even corporates like TCS, Accenture, or Wipro, Infosys, many of them provide internship opportunities. Even not just the IT sector, even the core other sectors, non-IT sectors also provide internships for the students to become industry ready. So these are some of the promising learning practices. And the next one is on the immersive learning. Immersive learning is where it is based on the cognitive and the behavioral science, where it is not just I learned cooking watching YouTube. That is not where it is not just seeing the YouTube, but here I am given an environment. I will have to practice it and dirty my hands and then master it. So that is where where it mimics a virtual environment. It provides you a virtual environment where you can go and try the various use cases, scenarios, and get familiar. And that is where if you practice while learning, it resides into a permanent memory, and you will be able to use it successfully in your career. So that is something immersive learning, and many of the organizations are now using these immersive learning techniques embedded into their learning strategy. And then adaptive e-learning. So this is where many of the learning experience platforms like Cornerstone or Degrade or Volley.com and other players, the LinkedIn for that matter, they're all there where it's an adaptive e-learning where they are using AI to look at to give content based on my learning preference, my current knowledge levels, and what other users based on the recommendations from other users. So they are able to give personalized learning path and assess my skills at a given point in time and give a guided learning. So it is like you have a tutor with you, personalized tutor who will be able to guide you through your learning journey. So there are many learning experience platforms that are there, and there are learning platforms which is AI based, where they are able to crawl your organizational knowledge base, and then they are able to come up with the nano modules, videos, and short learning enablers for you to at least get the content very easily. So which is very contextual oriented for that given organization and the sector. So and that is where the entire learning experience is the mantra, or it is a way forward in the learning platform as such. And then this hackathons and gamified learning is something we are all familiar with, where many corporates like technology biggies like, for example, Google or Microsoft, others, they provide hackathons like Code8. Even TCS, we have the Code Vita. Like many service providers, they have these hackathons, and where they they give an opportunity to try and then pick up the best minds. And then gamified learning through various leaderboards and things like that. And most of the organizations are now coming up with an internal talent marketplace where a particular challenge is thrown, and people can respond to it, and then they are able to get people work together as a collectively to come up with a approach and find able to fulfill their internal positions. So all these, it says that learner experience at the center. So it is redefined with all these learning pedagogies, and the changes, the evolutions in the learning practices itself is seeing a vast change. Now I am coming on to the TCS talent development success story. What is it that, like Mohan sir mentioned, and we all know that TCS is a 6 lakh plus employee-based company operating across the globe, multiple countries, multiple languages, workforce from different geographies, and so. But still, we are able to master, or at least we are, by and large, we have learned the technique of how to skill our associates, how to skill our talent for the demand. So that's where it is a very planned approach where the entire talent development engine, as you see here, there is a talent demand which comes from the market and from the corporate strategy and from the customers, So, changing trends, all this, it leads to the workforce plan. And then, where the skill mapping happens for the open requirements, and then a training plan is crafted. All this is tuned. It's a very robust and time, at least refined over a period of decades, I would say, where it is building the future ready talent and propel the individuals to pursue a career, and also fuel the business through the growth and transformation strategies. And it's all it's linked to the the career, the linking the learning with the careers, and the rewards is linked to the learning as such. There is a very structured process, which I will framework, which I'll share in the subsequent slide, where we have democratized learning, and it is more like a it's self-driven. That's the way the framework is created, and all this is aimed at fulfilling a demand, talent development led fulfillment. So that is where fueling the business growth at the heart of business strategy and operations. So it is a very time-tested process which has been refined and improved over a period, and it is the it is a core engine of our business strategy. And now looking at what is the framework that TCS has. So if you look at it, is a broad base, as you see, at the entry level, where you can see it is a freshers joining the organization. They are put through a broad foundation course, which is which has various elements, be it technology, domain, process, and biz skills. So they are put through a robust training induction program, and then once they are through, and then they gain experience in a project, then they get into a junior cadre, where they have a prescription-based journey, where there is a framework setup where people go through a set of technical trainings, and with an assessment and domain and a process track, and then ultimately there are assessments, and which helps identify high talent, and then fast track the grooming for higher career tracks. So that is at the junior level. It's about 3 to 4 years timeline, and then they move on to the next level, mid level, and where the entire program is designed in such a way there is a role job area designed and defined, and people are encouraged. That is where it is a subscription based, where they are encouraged to choose a particular role job area aligned with their aspiration. But these role job areas are defined at the corporate level, looking at the market trends, and have it relevant to the market and the emerging trends and the customer needs. And then people go through this for about 4-5 years, and then they get onto the GNT mindset. There are a series of programs designed exclusively for developing these and nurturing these GNT talent. So all this, it's we have over a period of time we have built about 2,500 competencies, about 14,000 certifications, and then total courses of about 30,000. And TCS has extensive partnership for training and development with more than 45 plus partners. So this entire ecosystem is what is fueling our entire talent development of the skilling engine across TCS. And as an organization, we believe in ground up talent development and organic talent development and skilling rather than an inorganic one. So this is building agility through talent transformation, powering GNT vision of TCS, becoming the growth and transformation partner for our customers. So this is a framework which is at the heart of our skilling strategy. And then looking at the testament of our skilling approach and the strategy from the market, recognized by the market, as you can see from the series of awards, have displayed only select few here, where you can see Brandon Hall, Steves, and then from HackerRank, and then and from Google, we got the Talent Development Partner of the Year award, the very first year when Google constituted this award. And that is where it gave me an opportunity to at least get into a new field of talent development. Just I'm 3 years old in talent development is what I would say. Maybe a novice or a beginner. But the way we democratize learning, taking it across to lakhs of TCSs through a very focused communications on what is in it for me factor. See, we addressed all our communications to aiming at what is in it for me factor for a junior level, for a mid-level, and for senior folks. That's the way we democratized learning and took the Google Cloud learning and certifications all across, leading to more than 20,000, 30,000 people having the knowledge and skills to deliver on Google Cloud projects. And now, as we speak, AI Experience Zone is something which TCS has built based on the AI for AI.cloud. And that is a story. It is making a histories, a success story all around. And this entire learning academy we built in partnership with Google, where we defined focused summits and challenges and quests, and took to more than 10,000, 20,000 people across, where they participated in these learning events, and their learning efforts were recognized and rewarded by Google and from the TCS leadership as well, into getting into marquee assignments and career growth. So that is when we have democratized learning through our focused communication approach, addressing different target groups within the organization and enabling them with a learning ground, not just a theoretical learning, and with a hands-on experience as well. We were able to build the right talent within the organization. And now looking at the various skill development initiatives that India has embarked upon to achieve its ambitious vision of 7 trillion by 2030 and 35 trillion by 2047. Vikshit Bharat is something where it is not just an IT related initiative. It's across all sectors, where you have semiconductor and then environmental sustainability, looking at smart cities. So they have a very ambitious goal, and to power that, fuel that is where we have specific initiatives taken by Skill India and Future Skills Prime, which is a partnership with NASCOM and Ministry of Education and Information Technology, where they have come up, they have a few specific programs to skill for digital skilling India youth. It all started, at least I would like to touch upon here the National Education Policy 2020, which completely shifted the focus from rote memory-based learning to an application-oriented learning. And as we speak, the CBSE is piloting it for class 8 or class 6 to 8, maybe those classes, and where it is more of a introducing AI as well as application-oriented learning at that stage. But eventually, it will be extended to all across the primary and the secondary education. And even there are credit-based education policies defined towards to encourage more of a hands-on oriented learning. And see, this NEP is going to yield the outcome maybe 10 years down the line. But right now, we are in a position where we have to upskill and train our talent, skill our talent or our youth folk in India. That's why Skill India is something where it gives vocational training as well as IT-oriented training across multiple fields. And then Future Skills Prime, it has more than it has courses for 70 plus job areas. It has more than 150 courses defined. And then SWAYAM is also there, and NPTEL. All these offers, many are free certifications and courses available. And except that assessment, maybe there are few which requires you to pay and get the certifications. But plethora of opportunities are there available for the individuals and for the academia assets to leverage from the government programs. And beyond this, as stated earlier, the state government run programs like Nan Mudalvan and then KKEM from Kerala, where there is even a focus for as last month or so, we we heard the news that 80,000 plus teachers are being trained, or Kerala has an ambition to make them AI aware. So these are the various initiatives that are there, and particularly the future skills. It focuses on emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, big data, then big data analytics, blockchain, cyber security, IoT, cloud computing. All these are our latest technologies, and there are plenty of courses there, which is just waiting for people to knock, enter, and then get benefited. And last not the least here, program like corporates like TCS. TCS has the TCS Ion Learning Hub, and then Wipro has Talent Next. Accenture has partnered with many NGOs for big data analytics related trainings, and even for non-IT domain based, like in healthcare or in retail. So there are many courses available, and it's up to us, the individuals, to take advantage of it. And then I think see, it's there. All the resources are there for us to leverage. And that's where I just want to move towards last stage of the session, where we have to know we already have a good base created. We have to build now strengths to strengths. That is where all these four entities in this ecosystem have to go hand in hand, work together on various fronts, defining from the policies to making the resources available, to establishing governance and having strategic partnership with maybe partnership even with the countries, as well as with technology providers, and then having integrated curriculum. See, the curriculum should be, it should look at IT as a horizontal, AI as a horizontal, because AI is not going to win standalone. It has to work for an industry, be it a healthcare or a manufacturing or whichever segment it is. So the integrated curriculum is extremely critical, where it's beyond the theoretical aspect. It should have more of an application-oriented case studies, industrial visits, and internships. All this should go hand in hand to create industry-ready students or professionals. And the corporates as such, if you look at, they should actively participate in creating these bridge programs, which can be shift lefted to an academic, where they can create a industry-ready professionals. And then they should be able to give provide faculty supports and internships to get the students ready for a career. That is where the career to corporate transition can happen seamlessly, and they can be project ready day one. And then industry bodies like NASCOM, CII, and others, they should be able to bring in a collaboration, foster a collaboration and partnership within the ecosystem of the governments, academics, and the corporates. And they should also get into thought leadership or provide thought leadership for future-focused knowledge and assets to all the entities involved here. Ultimately, we should be able to transition to an intelligence era, or the Industry 5.0, whatever emerges in the future, with human at the heart. Ultimately, all these initiatives are for human being. It is for us, you and me. So that's where it has to be with human at the heart. Yeah, maybe it can cannibalize the entire industry, but so what? So AI has to serve a human. So that's where, I just wanted to leave with this thought: have human at the heart when we are designing the policies and implementing them. Just wanted to mention that, because these are the two quotes which is permanently etched in my memory. None can destroy iron, but its own rust can. Likewise, none can destroy a person, but his own mindset can. All of us do not have equal talent. Like, not all of us are Einsteins, right? But all of us have an equal opportunity to develop our talents. So I've just left few key references which I have used in this entire, it's like a mini research which I have done over the last 2 months. And wanted to say thank you, and also leave a message here. to all of us, be it an academician or an individual or a student or an IT professional. Always be curious. Question. Understand. That will give you confidence. If you are confident enough, you will be able to communicate. And you should develop critical thinking. So technology can keep changing. Today, AI is a buzzword. But tomorrow it can be something else. If you can develop these 4 C's, you need not worry about your employability. Human beings have survived Industry 1.0 to Industry 4.0, so as you and me can survive. So, no, I think with that I would like to end the session. Maybe if time permits, I will want to share a short story, maybe after Q&A.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. A few questions are there for you.
Yes.
While the registration, a few questions are asked by the participants. I will read out the question. Mr. Sarveswaran Ramakrishnan is a HR person. He asked a question: how could we upskill or reskill ourselves beyond the challenges in competitive environment in the workspace?
It's like should I take medicine, tablet to cure an illness? We have to naturally take, right? So upskilling and cross-skilling or reskilling for that matter is given. We don't have a choice. If we have to climb the ladder in a corporate, we will have to definitely continue to learn. So if we are not going to learn, probably we may not be in a career. Probably we may lose a chance.
From another question. Mr. Rajkumar G is the delivery head. He asked, in IT infrastructure, where skill levels expected from the customer is L2, L3, how is it possible to cross-skill? IT service industry itself encourages not to cross-skill with dedicated COE formation.
Yeah.
Did you think IT service providers should first begin that process than rely on individuals to get cross-skilled?
Yeah. Very, interesting question though. See, L2, L3, these are all, it's a expertise, level roles. And, somebody, it is like in a T-shaped, it is it's a highest level proficiencies that, the expertise that are expected by the customers. And the IS organizations also build, let us say, a network specialist or a data center specialist. But when you look at now, and a data center specialist, expert, architect, he should definitely have a knowledge on networking. He should definitely have the knowledge on cybersecurity. Otherwise, how will he be able to build the architect for data center migration or building a new data center? So it is not that I will need to be an expert only in one field. You need to be a best in that. You need to be a best data center specialist. But you need to have the knowledge for cybersecurity as well as networking and storage. So it is a base requirement for the job.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, another one. Anand Raj B is a student. Did instructional design lose its essence in training industry, or is it still worth learning instructional design to deliver the best learning experience?
Fantastic. Very valid. See, instructional design as such. So previously, I remember the days when we started in my ITP or ILP, when I joined TCS, we used to have a OHP, projectors. where no transparent sheets were there and people used to write, and then no classes were taken that way. I'm talking of 1997. And looking at the way the entire training or the instructional design as such evolved, you had instructor-led training with a whiteboard, and then came MOOC, online, massive online trainings, and then the skill required, where for an instructional design in these online courses to retain attention is the graphics and the visual representation of things. And now that is where the learning experience platforms, which is AI powered, even there, what sort of visuals or what sort of learning interventions needs to be there. So that is a very, very core component of an instructional design. So instructional designer role will be there, but will it be the standard vanilla work, whatever we have been doing till now? That will be a question mark. So you'll have to look at a new, what are the changes, trends in this instructional design from a learning experience, and then accordingly equip yourself.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, rest of the questions are related to AI. There are two categories of questions. One is from the faculty side, how AI can be used a lot for teaching. And for the students, from the student side, they're asking how what are the things to be know in terms of AI and how to get a job in AI related. Like this from the student side as well as from the faculty side. Two types of questions are there.
Okay, very good. See, I would like to answer the faculty side question first. See, how do we use AI in teaching or in research? See, for example, for this webinar itself, I have not used ChatGPT before this, but for this webinar, I use ChatGPT to understand what are the emerging trends. So it depends on the way it's like a colleague, where I can just converse, put in a chat, and then get a response, but I didn't copy that. So it's basically I used that input, I synthesized it, I processed it, and then I gave my inference. I understood and gave my thought process. It helps the faculty to improve their own thinking, and it also gives a different perspective. So it is like a colleague with whom you can share your thoughts, your views, and get it validated or get additional insights. So in that way, AI can be definitely used in teaching, which is one of the best approach is what I would say. At least I felt it advantageous for me, and I hope it will be the same for others as well. And coming to the question for the students. See, AI is a horizontal. IT itself is a horizontal. It cannot work without a vertical. Okay, IT has to be manifested, let us say, in a banking or in an insurance or in a medical or in a manufacturing. So it has to be it is embedded as part of it. It can be manifested only through the vertical or the domain. In the same way, AI, it has to be embedded within the vertical. So AI in healthcare, that means one should know healthcare as a domain and also understand the applicability of these LLMs in the healthcare industry. It can't be that I learn about AI and LLM in isolation. It doesn't work that way. So if you have to build a career in AI, first decide the domain. Or if IT is the domain, if you want to build purely in IT, then you need to become an expert in AI and work with the practitioners in the domain to come up with meaningful use cases and solutions. Did I answer?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Now, a few questions from the participants given in the chat box. Abhinay Shri has asked one question. Motivation is really important. Can you explain briefly, ma'am?
I didn't get the question.
It's a question from Abhinay Shri. Motivation is really important. Can you explain briefly, ma'am?
Okay.
Okay.
Motivation is extremely important. Like every morning if I get up, what motivates me to get up? Ask a fundamental question. I have to achieve something. Like that is a motivation which every individual should have. Okay, that is where I would want to give that story. Maybe if it is time, no, can I
yes.
narrate that story?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. See, I just want to give a short story, particularly on why we should learn or why, what should motivate me. There is a small frog, which is a very, hyperactive frog, I would say. It's always curious to know things, what is in its surroundings and all. And, it was in a garden and, it was a nice chill evening. And the owner of the house, he wanted to have a cup of tea. So he lit a stove in the garden. He had a setup there, and he kept a pan and poured some water and lit the stove. He kept it sim. Doorbell rang, so he went out to see who it is, and he met his friend after a long time. Then they started chatting, and he forgot about the tea. And the frog was so curious to know what is there because it's seeing something new, a vessel or something big for its size. It climbed the stove and then it climbed the pot as well. And then accidentally it fell into the water. The water was not hot. So it was just warm, mild warm, lukewarm. So it enjoyed it. So it is a chill weather outside and it enjoyed the warmth of the water. And it enjoyed it, started swimming. Slowly water started getting hot. So it reached 60 degrees, 70 degrees, but still the frog enjoyed it. It enjoyed it so much, it started swimming very fast with so much of enthusiasm. Water reached 85 degrees, 90 degrees, then it started very hot. It became very hot. So now the frog realized the extensive heat. Its skin is not able to it's not able to bear that heat. So it now wanted to jump out. But ultimately it could not because it has lost all its energy swimming when the water was just warm. The message here is always don't get into a comfort zone. Keep a tab on the environment. Keep tab on the changes that is happening in the environment. The environment can be technology or it can be country, politics, whatever it is. Just keep your eyes and ears open to the changes happening around you and be assertive. And you can be in a comfort zone, but have a threshold for it. Probably if if the frog has decided to jump out when the water is around 60 degrees or so, it would have survived. But it enjoyed till 80, 85 degrees and then realized. So you have a threshold for the changes, to what extent you can accommodate the change. And then try to look for a different path. So always, now is the right time. Technology change is there. So ride on the tide. Just move out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself. It is in the matter of realizing one's potential. In that, I believe in 4 P's. Have passion in what you are doing. Persevere. Just never give up. Failures are stepping stones. Edison would not have invented the bulb if he had not tried for the 1945th time. All those were failures, but he didn't give up. Persevere till you succeed. And have patience. You will fail. Not everybody can succeed in the first attempt. Be patient with you. All this you have to do towards a purpose. Individuals can have different purpose, and that too can change. The purpose for a teenager will be different for a purpose for a person who has just entered a job. The purpose for somebody in the midlife will be different, and the purpose for somebody who is retired and in the later stages of life will be different. I think no, I'm done.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the session. Now I would like to invite Dr. K. Komathy, Chair, CSA Chennai Chapter, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Godfrey. Good evening, all. On behalf of the organizing unit CSI Chennai Chapter, IEEE CS Madras, and ACM Chennai, myself, Dr. Komathy, Chair, CSI Chennai Chapter, takes this opportunity to propose the word of thanks. To begin with, I thank the chapters jointly organizing this webinar on upskilling and cross-skilling, the game changer to succeed in the disruptive era. We thank our eminent speaker of today's webinar, Dr. Usha Narasimhan, Talent Development Head, Enterprise Solutions Unit, Tata Consultancy Services, Chennai, for spending our valuable time with us today to portray on the scenarios why professionals need to continuously upskill and reskill to enhance the performance and improve employability. As a result, how corporates are involved in deploying immersive learning and development programs and introducing customized corporate training programs and products suited to the requirement of each learner. She quoted from World Economic Forum, which stated that 50% of the skills dominant today will cease to exist in 5 years, and 54% of India's workforce need new skills on emerging trends such as AI, blockchain, data analysis, security, and green technologies, etc. She also pointed out that at present, India stands as number one in upskilling of AI especially. Thanks for it. She touched upon the skill development of India, such as National Education Policy, Skill India, Future Skills Prime, state government programs like Non-Mudalvan by the Tamil Nadu government and ASAP by Kerala government, and finally programs from NGO, corporates and industry body. Finally, she highlighted the TCS talent development programs implemented. TCS was awarded by Association of Talent Development ATD's Best of the Best award 11 times in a row. TCS is one of only 6 such companies in the world for strategically investing in talent development and creating an environment where everyone can learn and contribute. So my heartfelt thanks goes again to Dr. Usha Narasimhan, who with her expertise clarified all the questions raised by the participants. I'm thankful to the participants who joined us in live Google Meet and YouTube live streaming as well. And a special mention to those who actively participated in the QA section. Our heartfelt thanks goes to our mentor, Mr. H.R. Mohan, Chair Events IEEE CS Madras, who introduces very eminent expert to this platform for the benefit of the members. I thank the office bearers of the organizing units who supported the success of this webinar. I hope the session would motivate many of the participants to upskill and cross-skill oneself to keep abreast of the recent trends and be the best fit for the enterprises. With these warm words, we move to the end of today's event. Thank you all.
Dr. Usha, I would like to ask one question if you don't mind. I just really wanted to get your insights.
Yeah, please go ahead. Only one question, so.
Sure, thank you very much. So in your experience, I want to know how can I stand out in the role of a change management lead? If you can give me some points that I can take down.
So if you have to look at for a change management lead, first and foremost, we need to understand what the change is all about, and then who are the stakeholders impacted, and accordingly devise the change management strategies. Probably, did I understand your question? Was it the answer you are looking for?
A little bit. So you see, I'll give a background of myself. I'm a quality manager, and prior to this, I've been a quality evaluator and a risk and compliance officer. So I've done my certification on Six Sigma, Yellow Belt, Green Belt, and Black Belt as well. And of course, during my career history, I worked with FMEA documents and things in the risk and compliance field. So this is the first time I've been given an opportunity as a change management lead. So I want to give it my best. So I'm trying to get all the inputs I can.
Okay, fantastic. Change management is an excellent role, I would say. I have also been, I have also played that role, where you will have to understand the prime purpose of the change, who are the stakeholders impacted because of the change, who are the supporters and opponents of the change, and accordingly you will have to work out your strategy and prepare the communication content, reach out to them and deploy the change. It's a program in itself, and you will learn, discover, uncover, unlearn, relearn many things during the course of the change implementation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shah.
Yeah, sir. Over to HR Mohan, sir. Mute, sir. You're muted.
I think it is one of the excellent webinars we had. Particularly the skilling is becoming a hot topic. Everyone talks about. No one is clear about the future, whether they are going to continue in employment or whether they will be sent out, and what is the future. And particularly with so much of competition going around, and I think is as it was said in the beginning, the real VUCA is felt here. Particularly when it is affecting every individual, once the individual is affected, the entire family is affected. So this is a cycle. So obviously the impact is going to be very heavy, and damage what it can create, it is something very difficult to predict. So it is a timely topic, and thanks for accepting our invitation to address the participants. Thank you very much, Dr. Usha.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you for this opportunity, ma'am. Thank you all from CSA IEEE ACM chapter.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your wonderful presentation. Very excellent, actually. Responding. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So anything else?
Sir?
Only we can
இல்ல சார் சொல்லுங்க சார் ஏதாவது சொல்லணும்னா சொல்லுங்க சார்.
anything else I can discuss, otherwise I will leave.
Sir, tomorrow we will send, as usual, tomorrow we will send that 14th programs
Yes.
credentials, sir.
13th we have dry run and 14th is the
அவருக்கு once again ஒரு reminder அனுப்பிச்சிடுங்க.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.